Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel Data Science with Sam. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to apply linear regression using Python code. As you know, in my previous video, I gave a little bit of demonstration of how we can apply linear regression using R. I used a very popular dataset called Boston Housing to predict the median house value of Boston using one single predictor variable called LSTAT. So before go to the Python code section, let's talk about how we can differentiate between single linear regression and multiple linear regression. If you watched my previous video, then maybe you remember that I used only one single predictor variable to predict the median house value. So that was a classic example of single linear regression. So then what is multiple linear regression? It's nothing but using more than one predictor variable to your model. Like suppose if I add one more variable to LSTAT and if I use those two variables to predict the median house value, then it would be an example of multiple linear regression. If you remember in the dataset, we had 13 predictor variables. So as soon as you use more than one variable in your model building phase, then it will be called as a multiple linear regression. I guess that will clarify what is the difference between single and multiple linear regression to you. So let's take a look at one example of how we can perform linear regression using Python. Those of you who already worked on Python must be familiar with Jupyter Notebook, which currently I'm showing on screen. So first step, I'm going to load all the Python libraries, which will be useful for data transformation, data loading, and data visualization purpose. Next step, I'm going to load the Boston Housing dataset, which is already inbuilt in one of the very popular Python library called scikit-learn. The next step, I'm going to actually use Panda's inbuilt function data frame to transform the dataset into a data frame format. As you can see, we have only 13 variables that existed. So the response variable median value is missing. So let's check it out. Where is it? So that particular variable is existing in the target schema. So let's load it from there. So now we can see that median value variable is added to the main data set. So now let's check the correlation between all the variables. Since for this exercise, I'm going to only focus on LSTAT and median value. So let's check out their relationship. So based on this correlation matrix, it seems like they are negatively correlated. So now load these two values into X and Y variables and then try to plot it. As you can see, since they're negatively correlated, it's clearly showing on the scatter plot. So if the LSTAT value gets increased, the median price value should get decreased. Next step, I'm going to actually split the train and test data sets. And then after that, I'm going to use the train data set for model building purpose. I'm going to use scikit-learn's inbuilt function linear regression to build the model. In the next step, I'm going to actually use the same model for the present prediction purpose. Now this is the prediction plot. As you can see, there are a few outliers there, but it seems like the most of the predictor and the true price are kind of fall on the regression line. So it seems like the regression line is moderately okay. So let's check out the accuracy of the model using R-square value. As you can see, the R-square value is showing 0.5. That means we use only one predictor variable. So it did a really fair job by showing 50% of the variance of the data set. So if we add more variables, that will definitely improve the R-square value, which lead to a good performance of the model. So that's all for today. Hope you like my video. If you want to take a look at the Python source code, please visit my GitHub source code link. It's mentioned in the video caption. In my next video, I'm going to cover a very interesting topic, the prerequisite to become a data scientist. Because a lot of people ask me how I can be a data scientist. Because this field is so emerging, it's continuously evolving, so many things are going on, how I can kick off my data science journey. So I'm going to give you some insight about that so you can become a data science apprentice. So please stay tuned for that. Until then, goodbye.